That's right, mobile gamers. The big hype is here on the DMG Clan channel. The DMG Clan channel. DNA Mobile Gaming channel, I guess, if you want to say that. Because I've been tinkering all weekend with multiple different devices, including the AY Node 2, which has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. This is the Red Magic Nova with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. And this is the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip processor with the Red Magic 10 Pro. I think this was the 512 gigabyte model that I ended up getting. And today I'm going to show you the sad truth about this, because this device is not good enough yet. I'm going to say that for what we want to do when it comes to emulating PC, emulating emulation in general, and emulating basically anything, because we don't have driver support. And the thing is about that is that driver support on devices like this, for example, have been around for a couple of years now. Well, ever since basically, I think, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 series or something, whenever Kimchi started doing this. However, you're going to see me play this for a bit, and it might play. It might crash. It might play and then crash. It's something that has happened to me multiple times, whereas the game below on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 device has been playing pretty damn well. I'm going to say that right now because it has played really, really good. And honestly, I haven't had a single crash on this device, and it was running really well. I even played on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 device as well, which was the AYN Odin 2, and it was playing. But as you guys can see, like, yes, it's playing right now, and I'm using a controller. I even tried using touchscreen and all that kind of stuff. And I think even with, like, this is set to Diablo mode right now on this device. It's sitting in the background. I'm going to go to it in a minute. I have an Xbox controller just ready to go to play on it. But I don't know what it is. I even tried changing the GPU and CPU on this so that it wasn't using Diablo mode, and it just still did not want to function the way that I would hope that it would want to function. Like, I'm going to turn this down to just rise for now so that it doesn't get too hot or anything, because Diablo mode does crank up the heat a lot. But the thing is that because the driver, I think, from my experience for the last couple years, the driver in this device has shown that the driver is something that is going to help with any of these devices going forward, whether it's the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the Snapdragon 8 Elite, the Gen 3X, what was that, Gen 2 that came out with the ANEO device that just released recently, the ANEO Evo, and like, we just need that support. And I think where we need that support is to get the support from you guys to basically show support for the developer or developers. I don't know how many developers are working on the turn-up drivers. I literally think it's just one guy or a couple of people working on them. I'm not too sure on that front. The guy named Kimchi, I'll put a link in the description below for the drivers. However, I think it all bottles down to the fact that he has to get these devices and basically reverse engineer them or something. I don't know anything about the driver stuff. All I know is that I test out drivers and I test out which ones work and which ones don't, and which ones are good enough for emulation. Even with this, like, I was trying to mess around, but it says that this driver is obviously not compatible with the actual Gen 8 Elite Gen chips, just because it's just too new. This just came out. The Red Magic devices just released not too long ago, and it's a matter of, you know, getting these devices in these developers' hands so that they can actually, you know, develop for them. I'm pretty positive from my study about that is that that's why they can't develop for them, is because they don't have the device, and it gets pretty expensive. And I don't know if that's like the whole story. Maybe Kimchi can, you know, bottle into the actual the video or something at some point. But anyways, it's more of a matter of, hey, we need that support. That was a good shot. And right now, like, it's running okay, and I'm surprised at how well it's running, but it's not stable, and it sucks because this processor in this device is flipping good, but it's just the fact that we need the driver to be supported. And even for devices like the S25, for example, they are gonna not work really well either, because they don't have a cooling system like this device does. For example, this has a fan in the back of it. And again, the device is proving me wrong right now while I'm filming this, but I swear to you, this device has crashed multiple times. I turned off, even just to try something, I turned off the overlay settings so that we couldn't see the GPU and CPU usage and stuff like that, because I'm not gonna mess around with it. I want to see how long this actually plays for. Right now we're only like 5 minutes into this video, and I could ramble on while we play this for quite some time. And the device, it's got some warmth to it. Like, I can feel the back of it. Now, I don't want to pull this out because I know if I pull it out, there's a bug with Game Hub that basically, when you disconnect or connect a controller while you're in a game, it bugs out for whatever reason. So don't do that if you're trying to test this out whenever you want to test it out. I'm also going to let you know that I am not going to be sharing the configuration in this video. If you made it this far, like the video, comment on the comment section below, and subscribe, because I'm going to share this video with members first, and members only for the time being. And if this video gets 200 views and 200 likes, I will share a guide about how to set it up on the Red Magic, the Red Magic Nova, or the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, or the AYN Odin 2. This is more of me showcasing what I have experienced. I tried Call of Duty. I tried Call of Duty Black Ops with zombies. Yes, you can do that if you mess around with some configuration settings. I tried Fallout 3, and those games, they were running okay as well. And I haven't tried it on the Red Magic or anything yet, but I will be. I was trying it actually on the AYN Odin 2. I have Black Ops 1 installed on the AYN Odin 2. And I was playing zombies the other day. I only made it to like round 6. I suck at zombies nowadays. I haven't played zombies in years. However, this is the game playing right now. Not sure how it's rendering so good right now, because all the other times, even with the configurations that I just copied from my Snapdragon device, as you can see here, like, I'm playing with this device and it's playing okay. It's still just sitting there. It hasn't crashed on me yet, so it's just kind of just sitting in the background, not doing anything. And I will show you it a little bit after the fact if this crashes. If this doesn't crash, then I'm not going to show you it on the Snapdragon device. You can just believe me that it plays okay, because it does. So, and it's not getting too hot. Like, I have this even set to Diablo mode, and it hasn't gotten that hot. So I'm going to try to blow up this car too. There we go. And now we got the cops. Again, this is flipping cool. I know I don't have the sound on or anything right now. Well, I do a little bit, but it's just flipping cool to see that we can get this going on the Snapdragon 8 Elite chips, but it's still the sad truth about the fact that it's just not stable. And I've seen other people that have the Red Magic device and the S25 Ultra and say the same thing, is that randomly it'll just crash. And do you want that to happen? Like, maybe it'll crash on this eventually, but the other day I was playing on it for about 45 minutes while I was cooking breakfast, on and off. I was going back to it and playing and stuff, and I didn't have a single crash, didn't have a single issue. I know it says that the CPU is at max %, and that's probably because I have the I think it's Diablo mode running. Yeah, I do have Diablo mode. So if I turn that Diablo mode off, that'll turn down the CPU and GPU from overclocking on the device and stuff, so that, you know, that's going to lower your FPS as well. So as you can see, like, my FPS went down to about 36 FPS because I changed it. So let's change it to, we got balance. Let's change it to Rise. Rise is cutting it close to about 73%. And that does crank it up to about 40 FPS. And 40 FPS on a game like this is pretty damn good. Even on that 30 FPS, I think. A lot of games, I always say that are, there it goes. Bye-bye. There goes the game. As you can see, I got all the way to this intro and stuff, but yep, again, crashing, and it's not even in Diablo mode or anything like that. And Diablo mode's not always beneficial. I'm going to tell you that now, because yeah, it does help with like the stability of the FPS and stuff like that. But honestly, you're cranking out that CPU, and if that CPU hits 101%, your game's gonna crash eventually. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna crash. I know it's not in full screen mode. Hold on a second. There we go. Not sure why that was like that, but anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna start playing on this. Hopefully you guys can see this, and I'm gonna beat this guy up and whatever. Yeah, the red magic, it's a powerful device. I'm not saying that it's not. I bought it because I know it's a powerful device, but hopefully if I can get maybe even Kimchi jumping into this video to tell me, no, I don't want to buy any, get me out of this freaking vehicle. I wanted to take your vehicle, sir. Get back here, sir. And yeah, it's freaking awesome that, like, even on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, that it's playing this flipping well, because it's honestly 2025. It's awesome time to be alive, because technology is thriving, it's getting better, and companies like Rockstar should be taking note of this, because maybe they can start pushing older gen games to devices like Android devices. And it doesn't take a genius to be like, hey, this doesn't work for all devices, it works for these devices. If you want to try it at your own risk, then go ahead and do so. We've tested it on these devices, and here we are, the community, doing it ourselves, testing it too. They just have to go to YouTube and say, okay, we want, 20 people to test out Grand Theft Auto 5 for 2 weeks. We'll pay you. It's not going to cost them a lot, to test the games out and stuff, instead of having to test like a beta team or something like that. Because I'll do it. Pay me to freaking test out GTA 5 all the way to the end, and see how far I can get with playing it without the game crashing on a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor or catching on fire. It's something like that. It's really not that hard. Same with companies like Nintendo. Emulation on some of these Android devices play better than the actual freaking Nintendo One does. The Nintendo 2's coming out. For all of you people that want to say, oh, what about the Nintendo 2? Well, that's not the point. I can play on my Android device, my phone that's in my pocket. I don't have to buy another device to play a game. And if I can do that with playing like games like Tears of the Kingdom or whatever else, then I'd rather do that than have to buy a device specifically to play that barely even plays the game at 30 FPS, mind you. Now, it doesn't play that great on Android, but that's all besides the point. However, me rambling on for as long as I have now, for almost 13 minutes. What do you guys think about the Game Hub situation? Yes, I know you could just buy a PC and just play it on there, but it's not, something that people want to do either. They already own an Android device, and of course you can stream it, but if you go to a cottage that doesn't have the internet, then how are you going to stream it? You can't stream it and play it on your Android device. I didn't think the hype around this was amazing until I tried it. And that's because I tried WinLater in the past, but then I heard about Game Hub, and as soon as I threw on my copy of GTA 5 from a fit girl that I know, and it played this flippin' well, as you can see here, I was like, no freaking way, I gotta show this to everybody. And that's what I'm doing right now. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys subscribed if you weren't part of the channel before, if you weren't part of the DMG clan. Don't forget, if you want to become a member to help support the channel, not just to get the video early, then please do so below. Otherwise, hitting that subscribe button, watching the video, sharing this with other people that have the same mindset as me, that it is pretty freaking cool to see technology evolve, then do so. Have a nice day, guys. Have a lovely afternoon or evening or morning. And again, as always, I say at the end of every one of my videos, what a time to be alive in 2025.